It started with a small team of 8 to 10 people. Today we are 250 people. Our first customers were Reliance, Indian Oil, Tata's.
What was the drive behind going after what you learned and what you kind of built as a skill set?
Each and every corner of India has to grow. We have to improve the life of the people, their upbringing, their education. So India is a different country. We cannot compare this directly with Western countries. Unless we push our energy sector up, we cannot bring the desired growth in terms of GDP, 5 trillion or maybe 10 trillion. We cannot think of compromising the energy sector if we have to reach to that level.
So the world becomes your market that way. Energy is required everywhere. If you are competitive,
You've bootstrapped this company for almost 15 years. I don't know many people today, and I know a lot of them, winners who can even bootstrap their company for 1 year. Capital is an enabler that is required to grow aggressively. Once you find the right product market fit,
Generally, MSME in India is facing this biggest challenge. They are always looking for funds with the bank. You know, banking system actually in India, banks are very tight with small scale industry. Right from generation to transmission to distribution and to the domestic distribution, we provide services in this entire chain of electricity.
entrepreneurs like you are a real inspiration, Jignesh. That's the ethos of S45. We want to work with entrepreneurs like you and showcase the potential and taking your products to a wider audience across the globe, right? Welcome, Jignesh. So excited to meet you finally. I've heard so much about you from Pankaj. It's been almost 2 to 3 months. I've been listening to your story and was really excited to host you. Was really excited to host you actually on our podcast. Pankaj, tell us about how did you meet Jignesh for the first time and how this journey started with Jignesh.
so I've been a collaborative man. So there is someone who introduced me to Jignesh ji. So his name is Karan. Uh, so we went there, met him at his place, his factory, the plant at Baroda, and then at his office. And it's been now over 1 year that I know him, right? And it's been a wonderful experience knowing what all a young entrepreneur can do.
So, Jignesh, you're an engineer, right? I mean, I'm an engineer myself. What motivated you to pursue your core skill as part of your profession and for the rest of your life in general? What you've been doing is so amazing. So what was the drive behind going after what you learned and what you kind of built as a skill set? Because most of the engineers I know are either doing, finance or someone doing hedge funds. Some people are into the venture capital space. So what drove you when you started pursuing engineering and continue to be on the same path?
Thank you, Deepankar and Pankaj ji, for having me. And thank you for, you can say, calling me also on your podcast. Let me give you a little background about myself. I am from a, you can say, teachers community. So my grandfather and father both were in teaching profession, and almost 70 years of their life together have been given to primary education. So I come from a very humble background, uh, and that's how actually in my family everybody focused on education. So I have become an engineer because of the, you can say, environment in my family. I have completed my engineering, and after that this journey has started. So there was no specific plan when to reach to this place. It has happened over a period of time. So generally it happens to almost all the people. Life is all about what happens to you when you are having some other plans actually. So that's what the journey has been with me also. After completing my engineering, I have, as usual, I was searching for a job, and I started my, you can say, professional journey by working in a dairy industry where I was, you can say, selected as an engineer, but I was given a job of manufacturing ice cream. I was thinking that I should do something actually of what I have learned, so electrical engineering, and that's how I joined the company called Jyoti Limited in Baroda, And see, I was very average when I was studying. So I graduated with very average marks. So I was never selected from a campus. I was searching always for one or the other, you can say, opportunities to work. And Jyoti was the perfect company to really start my career. So that is where my career has started. Started working as a service engineer. So, and the main reason service is in my blood is because my starting was actually from there. My family was also served a lot in primary education. So service has been my background from the beginning. And after working for a brief period of Jyoti, I got a real good opportunity for working in Siemens Limited. And that is where also the major responsibility was service only. But then later, service was transferred into the sales opportunity for me. So both service and sales has really given me the confidence to start something on my own. So nothing was planned when graduated, but it has unfolded going forward. So that's how actually this journey started.
So, how did you come to this name Parth? And does it have any significance with your business, how you wanted to design this company, sir?
Parth was already a company, running company. It was a proprietary ship firm. I took over that company actually in the year 2005, you can say, and then converted into private limited in the year 2007. And from there, the journey has started. So Parth, but I like the name Parth. Parth is Arjun, and Arjun is known for the focus. And because I like the name, I continued with the same name. So there is no significance of keeping the name, but Parth is really motivating everyone to really focus on what you want to do.
Jignesh, tell us more about Parth. I mean, it's been almost what, 15 odd years since you started your journey. What does the company do? What exactly are you kind of building as products, as services? Tell us more about a little bit about Parth, and we can deep dive about after that.
Right.
Yeah.
So those who knows me personally, uh, I have come from a service background. So service has been my strength, individual strength also, and the foundation of Parth is also services. Services has been the strength from the beginning of the organization, and even today, service is our strength. So service is basically, you can say, foundation, the backbone of this company, and from there we have started. Now, for providing the services, especially in electrical field, it's really a challenging job. There you need really a good amount of skill set, the manpower what is required to provide services and safely. The services, timely service is also very important, and that's where actually I started building the team. So team building was my first, you can say, job, and from there we have come now all the way. Actually, today we are 250 people in our organization. So, but yes, it started with a small team of 8 to 10 people, then trained them really to give the services what customers are looking for. And can you imagine our initial first customers were Reliance or Indian Oil or Tata's. They were our first customers. So you can imagine how much expectation would be there actually from company like Reliance or Indian Oil, and the safety, the skill set what we need. And that is where we hit actually the first. So we started with almost the challenging services where what is expected from us, and from there we have really built our entire journey.
So Jignesh, I understand services, but for our audience and for from a layman's perspective, थोड़ा सा और context चाहिए services पे. तो मतलब what kind of services, right? I mean, electrical services is a very broad term. कुछ examples देके बताइए ना कि किस
Right.
तरह की
So,
services
so
आप
if you
provide
talk,
करते हैं.
if you see industry or utility or industry for that matter, any industry, refinery ho, yeah, and then steel plant ho, cement plant ho, everything runs with the power.
Correct.
Unless we have the power, we cannot manufacture anything.
Correct.
Or even for household, we need electricity to raise. So electricity is part and parcel of anybody's life, and that is where we really come into picture. So for electricity, we have so many, you can say, components of the electricity. It
Okay.
is not only the electricity from one place to other place. It generates at one location and it is consumed at other location. So in between, you can say, right from generation to transmission to distribution and to the domestic distribution, the entire chain of you can say uh, uh, electricity
Grid.
flow of electricity goes, and we provide services in this entire chain of electricity.
So from source to the end consumer.
Yes, and so we have expertise of providing installation, testing, commissioning of all those critical components which are part of electrical system. We have know-how of troubleshooting of all those components, because electricity is a very critical in nature, and it can really create problem if it is not handled properly, if it is not installed properly, if it is not maintained properly. So our role is not only in installation, testing, commissioning, but maintaining actually also those properties. And that is where customers like Reliance, Tata, they need a reliable service partner. So we became their reliable service partner by giving them all these kind of services. Not only the initial when they are setting up the plant, but after setting up the plant, when they are operating also, that time also they need us. So it is complete, you can say, life cycle. We are able to provide the services from our team.
So is it fair to say that you enable electricity continuity in the distribution of electricity to the end consumer?
Right, we can say that. So it's a reliability which is very important. So reliability and availability of power, and we play our role in both reliability as well as availability.
So basically, the services must have helped you in designing the products. So what went in your mind to identify which products you want to get into? How do you look at that and then start manufacturing? Or so I believe you're getting into new products also. So what's your thought behind that?
So we have never thought, let me say frankly, that we will enter into manufacturing initially. But the way we progressed, we really touch each and every electrical components of which were manufactured by all the big OEMs like Siemens or Schneider or ABB or GE or Arriva that time. So all those big players, L&T, they were there in manufacturing of those critical components, and we used to be the service provider for that. But then we thought that while all those components are delivered actually in the industry, the customer are facing some or the other issues with that. It may not be the design issues of the manufacturer, but it can be installation issue, it can be handling issues. So we thought that the issues what customer is facing while handling those products, we should also enter into the similar products where we can bring you can say the user friendliness, where we can bring the or we know their pain areas, so we can handle those pain areas, so that they will have the products which are more, you can say, reliable and user friendly. So we have thought that let us enter into the product certain products where our strength is also there into manufacturing. So that's how actually we thought of entering into manufacturing, and we started with medium voltage. Medium voltage is a big range, right from 3.3 kV to 45 kV. So here in India, it is up to 33 kV. That is where the original strength of our lies. And then we thought that we should enter into manufacturing of these products, which falls under this medium voltage category.
Thanks for enlightening me actually. But, Mr. Pankaj has been studying this industry for a bit now. Tell us more about your hero products. What have you been able to manufacture, design, and build it par with the so-called the veterans of this industry? So what are your hero products that you manufacture in your setups? When I say hero, the top products that is driving your top line in general.
Right. So when we entered into manufacturing, again we were raw. So we thought that we have to have handholding from big companies like Schneider, Siemens, Arriva, and that time Arriva was setting up their manufacturing facility in Baroda. So we thought that let's align with them, and we started providing them again engineering design services where our strength was there. We know that what is the pain area of customer, so we used to exchange with a company called Arriva, which is based France based. Now it is being taken over by Schneider, so it is now Schneider, earlier Arriva. So we associated with Schneider in terms of you can say manufacturing the products what Schneider used to manufacture earlier. So we started our manufacturing journey as an outsourcing partner of Schneider, earlier Arriva, and then we learned all the manufacturing techniques and the criticality of all those products, and that's how we have thought that we can start building our own products and directly go in the market. And that is where actually our experience with working with Schneider has come into play, and we became their technology transfer partner for critical products like ring main unit, which is you can say the heart of the distribution system. So we thought that see, we have really good transmission system. Generation is also very good. It is connected with very good transmission lines. Power grid is really doing good. State utilities in terms of transmission is also doing good. But the distribution at the end, the consumer end is very poor. So we thought that we must contribute actually something in this distribution segment, which is a large part of India. So and if you see government of India's, you can say motive that the electricity should reach, the reliable power should reach to each and every household, each and every small industry of the India, and that is where we thought that the ring main unit, which is very critical component of that distribution system, we should enter into manufacturing of that.
So sorry, I didn't get the name. It's called ring.
Ring main unit.
Ring main
Is
unit. So
yeah. We,
what I've
we
read
tell
it, it's
RMU.
also called RMU, right?
Yes.
RMU क्या करता है exactly? What does it do in the distribution? Can you
Like we
explain a
have
little bit?
see, in simple layman language, we have a MCB, the switch in our house, so that handles only 230 volts in our house. It is a single phase supply, or if it is three phase, then it handles 415 volts. But here when it comes to handling 11,000 volts or 22,000 volts or 33,000 volts, there we need a bigger switch, more intelligent switch, more safe switch. It can control and protect by itself. It can control and protect the load which is connected.
Right.
So this is a very critical component. It is like for MCB at home, for the distribution entire system, RMU is the same thing.
Right. Right.
So
right.
this RMU is basically part of the urban infrastructure, or in rural also already RMUs have come. And how big is this entire RMU piece?
If you see the other foreign countries, it is there everywhere, almost every corner of the world.
Okay.
But in India, the urbanization and the rural electrification also started. But in urban area also, you can see a lot of overhead lines are going, and overhead lines have got inherent issues of safety. One, second is theft, which is a very critical you can say thing in India, and third is reliability. So all these three factors we are compromising when we are running actually power overhead, and so that's how actually government of India has thought that we should go underground. So when we have underground line, cable comes into picture, and then those cables are to be connected with the switch, and that is called ring main unit. And so you can imagine the amount of overhead lines are running across the country. If you see tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, huge. So right now the focus of government is first, let us improve actually on the power reliability on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities by going for underground, and then later it is going to go to each and every village. So I can see there is a huge work pending at the moment, and we are at the right time to contribute actually in that movement. So if you see, if the entire India we have to convert underground and give the reliable power to each and every household for 24 by 7, then we have at least 20 to 30 years work which is left. Today we are doing this for 30 years. If we continue doing this, then also will not be completing in totality. So that much amount of work is left out.
So to break that further, so today if Delhi is 500 square kilometers, how many RMUs are required only in Delhi itself if we were to do that?
So Delhi has got a huge amount of power requirement. So if you talk about Delhi, then every square kilometer you may need 20, 30 odd numbers of RMU. Each and every corner you will need RMU. But if you talk about tier two cities like Baroda, or for that matter other cities of Gujarat or Patna for that matter, Ahmedabad like cities, there you will need at least 10 to 15 numbers in per square kilometer. And the amount of urbanization is happening, you can imagine like the numbers
Jignesh,
requirement will be high,
just
very high.
ballpark. Matlab, I know I'm asking a very interview focused question, but let me wrap my head around it. अगर हमारे देश को completely RMU से transform करना हो, तो कितने RMU लगेंगे?
It's, see, please understand, I'm a small scale industry. So I cannot talk about the entire India, but yes, knowing our role as a small scale industry, I know it is huge. So if you talk about the capacity of manufacturing the RMUs right now in India, count all the big players like Siemens and Schneider by themselves, Eaton, Lucy, some Crompton Greaves, and there are other players also. Together, I think, including Parth, we are manufacturing about 30,000 units in 1 year, in a year. And but we need at least 100,000 units
Yeah.
per year for next 10 years to really
Wow.
electrify everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
to,
Wow.
to, to reach each and every
And
corner.
it keeps
So
on growing and growing
yeah,
as we
yeah,
guys
and then
grow as a
it has
nation.
a cycle. So you can expect electrical life of any good equipment for 25 years. So for next 25 years, if you work on only RMU, you will come to the end of the RMU what we are
Wow.
supplying today. So it's a continuous process, and nobody can deny that. Of course, the technology is evolving in that. This is a SF6 based this, and we are talking about sustainability and the global warming and the environmental issue. So the technology is moving towards gas free RMUs, and we are also working towards that. So naturally the technology will change, but the requirement is not going to be reduced.
Right. So is that the only product you manufacture? Is there something else?
This is one product we manufacture out of many other products. There is one product called compact substation. Now that is also a very big, you can say, market, because if you talk about Delhi, we don't have the space to keep actually the two pole structure and the transformer on top of it, and then from transformer it goes to you can say RMU. Instead, we can make a small combined unit which has got transformer also, RMU also, and the load side also, the LT side also. So if we combine everything together, that is called compact substation. We are into manufacturing of compact substation also there, and for that also we have got a technology transfer from Schneider. So we have learned from Schneider a lot, and we have brought the best technology available actually in the market to really serve the customers. So what we are providing is the best product available in the market, but our selling point is not only giving the best product but also giving the best services because of our service background, and that is why we are winning more customers, because we have edge over others. Even big companies, they are not able to provide services the way we are providing. We, you can say, 24/7 we are providing services to customers.
So, sir, basically, who is driving this? I mean, this growth is being driven by the government or some companies. Who is driving this industrial growth or the demand itself? Who is funding this?
See, it is the funding. Let's talk about the driving part of it actually, because see, uh, if we talk about the economy of India, and we are talking about 5 trillion economy. Now for 5 trillion economy, each and every corner of India has to grow. And for growing each and every corner of India, each and every small scale industry, each and every large industries, each and every you can say government government operated industries also has to grow. Now for growth of those companies, we need power. For giving the power, we need all the equipments to go, and for equipments we need manufacturers, and that's how actually our role comes into picture. And it is not only manufacturing, it is providing after sales service also, which is very critical thing. If you are not able to provide services, you cannot really give the product. So that's where there is a huge demand created naturally. Yeah, but of course, a lot of distribution utilities are handled by government, state government, and also the central government. So that's how the major funding actually going from the government. But of course, there are private utilities also like Torrent, Adani, Tata. So they are also pushing this. They have started pushing it even earlier than what central utility and state utility has started. So that way the funding is there from everywhere. Okay. Even OEMs are pushing, because all the big OEMs, they also want, see, finally people are not manufacturing product just for doing the business. There is a cause behind it, that we want to really contribute to the nation, contribute to the safety of the people, contribute to the energy requirement of the entire India, each and every person, because without energy we cannot think of surviving ourselves. So it is a natural, you can say, driving, which is driving this business, and that will continue.
So the world becomes your market that way. Energy is required everywhere if you are competitive. So do you export also? Or what's the
Yeah, right now the products what we have talked, we are not right now exporting those products, but yes, export is a big opportunity. But right now the demand in India itself is very high, and we are a small company, so we are MSME, and for MSME to really grow so fast, sometime it takes time. We are growing very fast. If you see last year, we made about 1,000 odd RMUs. This year, we have made 2,500 RMUs. So we have almost double the capacity. Going forward, we are going to make 3,000, 3,500 numbers of RMU. Compact substation also equally we are going to increase. And we have other products also. So naturally, growth is expected. But whatever we will grow, I think it is going to be consumed in India right now. Of course, there will be an opportunity outside India also, like African countries, surrounding countries of India. They are also going for, you can say, reliability power system, and that is where also our role will be there to really contribute. But right now we are focusing more on India with these two products. But we have other products. With that we are going in. We are exporting. We are exporting our services, because services is a scarcity everywhere. So even in Bangladesh, our team is there today, and we are able to provide services in African countries also, Sri Lanka. In fact, we started providing services in USA for that matter. So services is a scarcity right now because of the skill set, and that is where our strength comes. So we have mix, like these products are for local market, and we have other products for export markets.
so if I were to ask you, sir, has services helped you in getting orders?
It is always like that. Uh, because of our services, we are able to think of manufacturing, and because of our services only, today we are accepted by almost every customer of India. And you name any big customer, we are there. They value our service capability. They value our commitment to services. They value our quality of services. So, and that is bringing us good name, and that is bringing us good business also.
Let's talk about the scale, sir. You're saying that you're a small company. Let's let's classify the scale. What was your last year turnover in terms
So
of?
when we are talking about small company, small in, you can say, the turnover,
Yeah.
you will be, most of the people talk, but the value of our company is very large in terms of capability. Okay, not in terms of money. Yes, we are doing reasonably good. The last just financial year ended, we have done about 175 CR. You can say
And
about
and with respect to growth, what was the revenue in a year before?
we have grown 100% actually last year.
Wow.
So that is so last year, last financial year we were about 88 CR. This year we are 175 CR. Going forward, we are expected to go at least 30% for next many years. And we are planning to add more value added products. So because we cannot just think of working only on the products what are existing, we are adding more value added products. Why? Because we know that we can contribute more to the industry, we can contribute more to the you can say electricity, state electricity, central electricity distribution system. And we don't want to be left out actually. When we have good products available, we should thought of manufacturing, and then we should supply also. So we will be going for new products. We are adding two more factories. One is in Odisha and the other is in Baroda, with new products coming in. We were not in low voltage system. We have started actually now manufacturing low voltage system also. We have got first large export project to USA. So sky is the limit, I think. From low voltage to right now, we are talking only medium voltage. We can even think of going for high voltage, which will be our dream for going forward.
I'm intrigued to ask, sir, how do you retain your team? Because this services, so you were working somewhere, you started this company. This could happen with, your people who have been trained, they can take business directly. So what are you doing differently there in terms of training your people, or, growing them, making them partners, or what? How do you manage that?
So that's where my individual strength comes into picture. So I always believe actually in building team, and making that team as a family of our own. If you talk to any of our employee, you will find that they are with us since more than 10 years, 15 years. So what I observed, that when anybody is recruited by us, what I do personally, I really nurture him or her, and I make sure that they really learn, they feel really comfortable working with this organization. And at the same time they are financially also taken care, because if their salary remuneration need or salary needs are taken care, then rest is the environment of the organization. You will find that sometime our salary levels are not very high, but still people want to work in our organization because of the environment. They feel really as their own company, and that self of belongingness is really driving us. uh, if you see, more than 60-70% of our people, they are there since more than 10 years with us. So nobody wants to leave our company. That is the culture we have created, and we believe in you can say bringing from bottom to top. We don't bring anybody from top to, or from outside, and then ask them to lead the organization. So we don't have that helicopter landing concept. We train the people from the bottom, and then we take them to the level where they can lead the organization. So we have today the leaders in our organization who have been working with us for more than 10 years. So they have learned the way of working of our company. They have learned the culture of the company, and they are going to be the future leaders. That's what our you can say method has been. And going forward, I think you must be knowing, we are going for a skill development center. The precise reason we have set up, we are now going for a skill development center is that because skill is a scarcity across the world. India is always a problem, but across the world, skill is a scarcity. And what I have observed is many big OEMs or big companies, even in India, they have stopped actually training people. So what everybody is looking for, like somebody who is already ready made, bring him in and then give him the job, and they should start actually contributing. This is not the way actually the company runs. We have to really train them. and we have to make them aware what this company wants, and finally put them into service. And then the way they will contribute, we cannot get the same contribution if we are bringing somebody from outside. This is what we realized from the very beginning, and that's how we have never hired actually people directly from the market and then gone ahead. We always believe in developing our own skill, nurturing them, and then finally make them a leader. Out of 250 employee, we have 65 leaders. They are potential leaders. So you can imagine, we have 1,000 employee or 2,000 employee company, and you will not find 3, 4, 5, 10 leaders. We have 250 employees, we have 65 leaders. So they have that, you can say, push the enthusiasm to really become a leader of the organization. That is what going to be helping us to grow.
So, sir, the industry is good, it is growing everything, but what keeps you worried? What are the constraints in the business?
See, for small scale industry, again, I'm talking about myself as a small scale industry because everybody talks in numbers when we talk about the small scale, medium scale industry. So we are still a very small company, and for us, if we continue doing the things what we are doing with the same motive, then I don't think there is going to be any challenge right now in front of us. But of course, in terms of you can say the overall electrical industry, there have been some ups and downs, but everybody knows that unless we push our energy sector up, we cannot bring the desired growth in terms of GDP. What we are talking 5 trillion or maybe 10 trillion or maybe Vikasit Bharat, what we are talking 2047. So we cannot think of, you can say, compromising the energy sector if we have to reach to that level. So right now I don't see any issues, but yes, skill is a scarcity. So if we don't get the enough skilled manpower for our two factories which are coming, and for our growth what we are expecting in services, if you don't have skilled people, from where you are going to get? So skill is the scarcity, and that is where actually the problem is. But we are trying to erase that by setting up the skill development center.
So, but
That
no,
is going to help us.
no challenges as far as raw materials are concerned, because what I understand is if you are making an RMU, you may require 300 different kind of components, right?
Yes.
So, is there no challenge in terms of raw material sourcing or availability? Because non-availability will lead to delivery challenges and all that.
See, those challenges are going to be always there actually, because again, geopolitical factor is also coming into play. A lot of these tariff wars and everything going on. China, India, you can say restrictions are also going on. But still, I think reasonably India has done good, because we have got for our products we have got, I think, most of the material available within India. So that way we don't see challenges. But yes, a few years before, if you talk about semiconductors, which is again we are depending on outside world, but that is being streamlined now. Yes, there will be some challenges, but then there will be options also available. So I don't think that is going to be a big challenge. We can always you can say visualize it, and we can arrest it.
So, what do you follow for your vendor management, maybe supply side, or so
Yeah, so I think the best part what we learned from Snyder, from Ariva, is this: that how to develop those vendors and how to make them as your own partners. Okay, so like we internally make leaders meet for our leaders. We make the partners meet also. We do partners meet, and in that we call all our vendors, and then and convey them that what are our plans, what we will need from you, and where we are leading ourselves. So that's how we are making them or telling them that you also be ready actually to support us in terms of financials. We have been really working well with them. I think there is no you can say vendors who has any you can say complaints about the payments. So we are able to manage our cash flow very well, and we are able to pay them on time. So for us, it is very important thing is the vendors. First is vendors. The second is the banks. Of course, we have to take care of all the banks. Third thing is all the employees, And if you are able to take care of these three people in the line, then I think your business will not have any difficulties. So vendor management is also good. We always encourage actually more new vendors to be brought in. We value their inputs. We go to their factory and then check their products. We check their quality, and then finally we approve them as our vendor.
Okay. So, sir, have you worked something around sustainability in your company? Because you are a thinking promoter, it seems, right? So, any example of what you have done differently, even being an MSME, because you have a pedigree of
Because the
working
entire
with large
base of
companies?
electricity is running on sustainability. When I
Right,
look
right, right.
around like
So
EV,
I've see a lot of people, and this is a buzzword nowadays. Sustainability. Everybody talks about sustainability, but then we are not actually going into the detail of sustainability. Sustainability does not mean that you contribute in certain areas and then you are able to bring or reduce something. Sustainability is what I see is in terms of designing your product also in such a way that you can reduce the raw material use, because if you are able to reduce the use of raw material, which is like copper or aluminum or steel, that itself is a contribution towards sustainability, because that much less raw material you will need actually to dig from the earth. So that way we go up to that level, that how we can really optimize the design in such a way that we can bring the we can contribute to the sustainability at that level. But more than that, we are continuously thinking of, you can say, two, three, four areas we have really worked in last 2, 3 years. Like we have gone for solar rooftop solution for our own factory. So we have 98 kilowatt of solar. So almost 30-40% of our power requirement has been taken care by that. So in a way, we are reducing the carbon footprint by using the green energy. Second is we have continuous drive for planting the trees, not only in the factory, but we go outside in the villages and we plant actually trees. So that is the contribution we do in terms of sustainability. Third thing is we try to reduce the use of plastics and reduce the use of wood in our manufacturing cycle. So one of the initiative we took actually with Snyder as a part of sustainability drive, that Snyder supplies a lot of core components to us. So for those core components, they have a they have a packing which is of wooden base, and then they have a complete corrugated box packing, and then a lot of plastics into it. Those are of course recyclable, but again, why to if we can avoid the use of those recyclable thing also, then also it's a contribution. So what we did is we have designed a structure in such a way that they can supply their core components to us without using the wood or the corrugated boxes or the plastics. And by doing that, we have avoided actually almost using those products into dispatch of transaction between Snyder and Parth. You can imagine we are buying almost 2,500 odd numbers of components of RMU from there, and it requires a huge amount of packing material, which we have straight away reduced. So that is one of the initiative we took last year, and it has been appreciated by Snyder and the entire world leaders of Snyder, that it's a good achievement by this. Like that, we are continuously talking about the engineering ideas, engineering solutions, where we can reduce the raw material this without technically compromising the product. So it's a continuous drive, and we love to do that.
so I think the couple of things which I generally wanted to understand. 'Cause I come from a finance background, tech background, right? And we can touch upon that in due course of communication. But I think the second part of the discussion we can have around, I mean, what how the capital spectrum of our country is helping. So let me put it this way: you figured out your growth leverage points in your journey, that these are the things I need to do, and if I'm able to do this, I'll be able to scale up the business to 10x, to 20x, to 30x, blah blah blah, right? capital is an enabler that is required to grow aggressively once you find the right product market fit in terms of services or product, right? How that capital spectrum is kind of laid out for you in our country, given the fact that let me put it this way: you come from a tech background, you are doing the core technology, manufacturing, but still you're not very cool enough for the go-to technology venture capitalist. And on the other side, you don't get access because you're such a smaller stage. You don't get access to institutions. So what is it that you feel that changed over the last 2 years that you're able to kind of grow 100x, 100% year on year on year on year, and the sustainable growth for the next 10 years, right?
See, for small scale industry, capital is always the issue. Uh, Availability of capital, how to get that capital, and knowledge about actually the capital is also an issue for a tech company. So for me, I had a very limited knowledge about the finance, the capital generation. So generally, MSME in India is facing this biggest challenge. They are always looking for funds with the bank. And banking system actually in India, banks are very tight with small scale industry. MSMEs are not really given the importance the way the banks are talking, the way the government is talking. So, in real terms, it is not coming to the MSME. Yes, we have a lot of schemes. We are talking about a lot of things, and we know that MSME is generating highest amount of or highest employment generation, highest contribution in the GDP. Still we want to ignore actually that sector. That is where actually our country is having a problem. Our banks are having a problem, and I have realized this in my first 5 7 years that it is not going to be very easy to grow if we continue doing the same way what we have been doing. So that's how actually we thought that we have to think out of the box, and that is how we thought that we should first we have to make our you can say organization very strong. And once you know that we have a very strong organization and we have a growth path for next 10 years, you have a lot of, you can say, capital available in the market in terms of private equity, in terms of venture capital, in terms of you can say a, a, a foreign direct investment, also in terms of in individual investors also who are interested in investing in companies like us. So we realize that this is the right time actually for us to really go in the market and then ask for this fund available. And we have been really successful, of course, with the help of support, the guiding people, the uh, venture capitalists. They have really guided us to fetch actually that fund, and that fund has really you can say helped us to grow and to set the growth you can say path for us. So last 1 year growth of almost 100% is because of that we were less focusing on getting the funds, more focusing on delivering actually the goods and services. So, and this can really be multiplied because the ideas what small scale industry has got is huge. So you are talking about startup is an idea. That idea is ultimately converted into a big organization, and we have so many examples in India. The same way small scale companies like us has got lot of ideas, has got lot of skill, has got lot of energy and enthusiasm to really contribute in the economy, in the society. But this is where actually any MSME company is lagging, and this is where the banks and the government and even the big financial institution have to understand they have a bigger role to play to really contribute in the MSME, and then we can take this forward, and we can reach to the you can say the 5 trillion economy we are talking, or maybe 10 trillion going forward. So unless the MSME is hand holded by such big people, or maybe for that matter big industries have a role to play, because big industries they utilize all the potential of small scale industry, but they do not give their dues. You can say they are authorized to get. That is where actually a big gap is there, and I will expect that if this gap can be, I think, filled, maybe S45 is doing the same thing by you can say arranging such podcast, and then conveying to the market that yes, a small scale industry or maybe a first generation entrepreneur, how much he can contribute to the economy, how much it can contribute actually to the nation building, how much they can contribute in employee generation, how much they can contribute in developing the skill of the people, which can be utilized for multiple growth in the industry. So uh, I think a lot of work is to be done. I have learned very hard way, but I want the generations to come, the small scale industry, they get little better hand holding actually from other people, and I think they can do wonders if they are really hand holded well.
Actually, that's what this podcast is all about, like to create awareness among other entrepreneurs that the growth capital that is required to scale the business multi-folds over a period of like 2 to 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Outcome might not be a unicorn, but outcome can be a 100 or 200 million dollar enterprise.
India, we don't need three unicorn. We need 300 small scale industry to grow
Yeah. So
actually.
that's what our
So
thesis is.
that is
in
going to
essence.
take India, because India is a different country. We cannot compare this directly with Western countries actually. We have a different, you can say, ecosystem, the culture, culture. And we need a inclusive growth. We cannot expect the top 1% will have 90% of the wealth, and rest everybody comes under actually the last 10%. That way we cannot bring the growth.
So
Per
that's
capita income, what we are talking is
yeah,
the classic example
yeah,
actually
yeah,
where we are right now.
yeah.
So we have to improve the purchasing power of the people. We have to improve the you can say life of the people, their upbringing, their education. We have to really work very hard. So I think a lot of work is to be done, but I know that there are many good people who are willing to contribute towards that, and I think India has got that kind of people also.
That's the ethos of S45. I mean, we want to work with entrepreneurs like you, and kind of showcase it to a wider audience and showcase the potential in both investing, collaborating, and taking your products to a wider audience across the globe, right? And I think immense potential is there, and entrepreneurs like you are real inspiration, Jignesh. And how should I say it? I mean, you've bootstrapped this company for almost 15 years, and I mean, I don't know many people today, and I know a lot of them, of entrepreneurs who can even bootstrap their company for 1 year. Because the minute they start, their expectation is I need seed capital or a pre-seed capital or an ideation stage capital, right? So I think you're an inspiration to a lot of entrepreneurs out there. 15 years of bootstrapping, and still you're not even started to kind of deliver the magic you can. So I mean, and on this note, we're going to kind of end the first part of our discussion.
Yeah, so I may have one just question to ask you here, right? So in spite of all these challenges, where does Jignesh Patel see himself 10 years down the line and see Parth Electricals 10 years down the line? What does he want both to become 10 years down the line?
Of course, uh, earlier I was not able to see 10 years down the line. I always have actually one step at a time approach. But of course, I have a bigger vision that this organization has to really grow to the level where it can self-sustain. It can, without compromising the values of the organization. It creates the legacy so that each one of us who has contributed in this organization, they can depend on the organization. for their children also, for their loved one also. So that is what kind of organization we want to create, and self-sustaining. And I want the leaders of today, they should lead actually this organization going forward. So overall, I want to see that in terms of organization, the values point of view, like that, because that is the larger picture for any businessman to think of. In terms of value, in terms of volume, you can say that yes, we want to grow for next 10 years at least 30-40% going forward. And some instances will come. I know that we can even bring growth 100%, like last year we brought. So there will be few instances going forward where we will grow 100%, but anywhere 30% growth, I don't think it is not achievable actually for companies like us for next 10 years.
So thanks, Jignesh, for giving us your time, for speaking to us, telling so many exciting things about your business and your journey to our audience. Before we wrap this conversation up, any last piece of advice for your fellow entrepreneurs of our country, our nation, who are bootstrapping their businesses for I don't know how many years, the way they are growing? Any piece of any key takeaways for them? Let's put it this way.
Okay, let me say that mm, I'm not I'm not the correct person maybe to give any advice, but yes, what I have learned in last 15-20 years in my entrepreneurial journey, what I can say is that if you have any idea in your mind, and if you know that you can work on that idea, if it is or your strength, then work on your strength. Give your best actually to in working on your strength, and don't look back. I know it's a challenging environment, but if you really work hard towards your strength, you will definitely get a success. So I must say that I have followed the philosophy of like visualization. So if you are visualizing anything, and if you are ready to put your best efforts towards that, then the success is going to be there. So you should not really think something and then sit back and relax. You should work on that, and the success will automatically. That's
Thanks.
what I will say.
Thanks.
And,
Thanks.
I will say thank you very much also to both of you. I think you were patient listening.
No, sir, this pleasure is all ours. I mean, these stories are really the real inspiration that gonna drive so many, and that's the change we want to bring in.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Thank you.